guys looking forward to the new Season 2 Plus Hearts of Ice? Well, guess what? I am too. And I've got the one video you've been waiting for, the Artifact Tier List. And why is this more important? It's more important because artifacts do not reset anymore. So this is a very important update and we are going to take full advantage of it in this season. So stick around for all the information of all the best artifacts that you should be spending all of your arcane dust in, and some future tips in the next season. Yes guys, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, and we're here again doing the justice that you've all been waiting for, the end of season 2. Basically what we've been using, but more importantly, what you are going to be using next season. Because to be honest, with the new artifact changes, they're not going to reset in levels and artifact dust does not scrap. There is some really cool things we can start talking about. So one thing I am going to just suggest before we do go into this, remember this is all my opinions. You can obviously go and give your voice your own opinions, but honestly guys, remember we're all friendly here. Keep it civil, right? Keep it civil. But what we are going to be suggesting though for all those players in the new season is to try and keep some arcane dust, and the reason is because of the new season. In the new season you might unlock the new artifact that we still don't know what it does right now, but you will be able to obviously unlock it and use the arcane dust that you found at the end of the season off all of those level 25 mobs, and guess what, you're going to be able to pump it up. So that's a nice little suggestion. So with all of that, let's get into some of these artifacts, because you can see above, I've already ranked a load, and the reason why I've got it like this is because all the rest I'm going to give you my opinion as we go through. So the C tier is basically things that you might use occasionally. It's going to be basically up in the winds. There's going to be better choices for you, right? The D tiers are just, guys, don't worry about them. You're going to get these. These are like your last priorities. So don't waste your time on these ones. But everything else is going to have some sort of place in here. Apart from the fireworks. Get rid of the fireworks too while we can see it. So let's start off with Wolfwoman of Halo. It's the first one on our list, hidden away here. And basically this is definitely an S tier ranking artifact. This season surprisingly has showcased how powerful this artifact is. You're going to be able to use this artifact to blink in front of enemy keeps and potentially those turrets now, and guess what, you might be able to start destroying them and doing damage to the keeps while at least getting a good trade. Because remember, the way the Wolfwoman of Halo works, you get to blink, deal your skill damage, and it'll blink you back. So it is honestly an S tier little specialized artifact that honestly archer players and cavalry players have all been using to honestly beat keeps in this season. The next one we're going to put is in the C tier. It's just going to be the mobility boots. Why? Basically, you're going to just use this every so often. This is just going to help you get to places if you don't have any of the better march speed items on the list. So we're just going to drop it into the C category. But now we're on Bombflinger, and Bombflinger is definitely the top of the B tier. Meaning, this is basically everyone's bread and butter. This is the basic everlasting PvE destroyer in Behemoth for free-to-play archer players. So basically, if you don't have any of the other artifacts that we're going to talk about a little bit further on in this, guess what, don't worry, you can use this, and then when those guys are a bit more leveled up, which I will discuss, you will swap over. So if you've got a level 5 bomb flinger, honestly, you will want to use this on all of your raids. It's just going to do a ton of damage. But here we go to the first of the garrison stuff. So at the moment, I'm going to keep these in the B tier, and that is going to be the rally and the garrison artifacts. I'm going to put them both at the same time because they've got the exact same reasoning. No one realistically should be using these unless you're a T5 whale. So if you're a T5 whale and you are a garrison leader or a rally leader in your alliance, you will be required to at least have these maxed out. Because for you, if you have this and your opponents don't, I'm just going to be honest with you, you will have an advantage in that fight. So that is why they're in the B tier. Apart from that, they are not required for any other player, so don't worry about them. The next one is going to be the Book of Incantations. We know this and love it. It's the exact same version of Bomb Flinger, but the mage version. So if you're looking for a PvE raiding mechanic, put it on. You're going to be happy. You can use this, obviously, in Dragon Trials, as well as stuff like the raids, like we've already mentioned. So that's why it's a really good artifact for you. Now we've got the Spring Blade, or Spring Blade, the Spring Bird. It's the mobility artifact, and this is basically the better artifact of all of the C tiers. This is something that you might use if you're a cavalry player. I'm just going to be honest with you, because it allows you to actually use the ranged Spring Wardens in an advantage, get in and out, but it doesn't really grant too much. You could potentially use this and bring it in a raid to help against the Frost Dragon. As you know, you're going to need some movement speed to dodge a lot of that area of effect. So this could be something that you would be using. But now we're going to go into a better artifact, something worth talking about. And that is definitely the Infernal Flame. Infernal Flame is S tier. It's one of the best ever mage artifacts that you're going to be able to use. Why? No matter what player has this, if you do have someone nearby that's using Lilia, they're going to thank you more, because this is going to apply Scorch, so you're getting increased damage anyway to that target, but you are also enabling any of the Lilias around you. So this is very, very important when it comes into open field. So honestly, one of the best artifacts you can be using for the mages. And honestly, you could argue this is going to be a S tier as well, but I reckon this is the gatekeeper of the A tier. This is the best A tier artifact, hands down, currently in the game. The fact that you can use this Visage of Sanctus with the flying marches, but a lot of players have been experimenting it with Lilia or Vela marches too, and getting surprisingly really good results. And that is why it's actually moving up to the gatekeeper slot, because before it was just a really good A tier artifact, but now, without a doubt, from all the feedback, from all the footage and everything we've been watching, definitely one of the best artifacts you can be using if you're wanting a celestial based artifact, you know, for the flying mages, or if you want a different option for your mage heroes. So now we get to the Fang of Ashikari, and this is an interesting one. I'm going to put it in A tier 2. It's a very good artifact and gives you a bunch of Legion defense, and surprisingly, some players, if you don't have like the Grey Mass Warhammer or even the Dragon Scale armor, but you do have access to like a level 2 or 3 Fang of Ashikari, you could be using this on like infantry or cavalry based marches. It's actually surprisingly really good, especially on that Madeline Garwood march. You'll be surprised on how many defensive stats you're going to gain, and because you're tanking so much damage for so long, you're going to get maximum benefit of anyone who is deciding to block your path. So honestly, really good effect. I really do like this artifact. It's one of my more favourite ones. So now we've got the Staff of Profit, and I'm not going to lie guys, this is kind of trash. I don't know. Some people like it, some people don't, but I'm one of those don'ts. It's okay. It's a bit of a gimmick for now. If you need to get basically your troops all the way across the map really, really quickly, so to a raid, it's good for that. But apart from that, I wouldn't really recommend using it. The Amulet of Glory is a D tier artifact. If you're wondering what this looks like, it's this artifact right here. It's just going to give you cavalry, basically peacekeeping damage. We don't worry about that when we are focusing on artifacts that we want to basically level up all the way to 60 or 50 to make sure we've got the maximum benefits for the next season, since they're not resetting. Archer's Manual, unfortunately, D tier guys. I know we don't really need to use this Archer's Manual at the moment. Maybe in the future, who knows, maybe in the future, but right now it's lost its touch. It's just not good enough for our attacks. So now we're going to get into another big boy. Here we go, S tier Phoenix Eye. No, you know, obviously surprise you from anyone. This is one of the best artifacts for mages, for a simple fact it has the most amount of damage on an area of effect spell. It's very insane how much attack you're going to get, and honestly any mage hero is going to be able to use this in the foreseeable future, just because it's such a staple pick for you. So honestly, this is one of them. If you've got it and it's level 3 or 2, you're good. Just start leveling it up, honestly. Level 1, I'd be a little bit shaky. I'd just kind of wait and use something else on this list, which we're going to get to later on. But until then, you know, this is still, it's just a monster, guys. One of the best. So we're getting to cavalry again. And I'm not going to lie, guys, this is going to be probably one of the ones that catch you off guard. But Cloak of Stealth, A tier. And the reason why Cloak of Stealth, I think in this Season 2+ especially, is going to be A tier is because of one very new mechanic, which is the Mysterious Spires. So now what we're going to be able to do is get cavalry with the Cloak of Stealth, teleport them from our homeland and invade into the enemy zone, meaning we can Cloak of Stealth and go really, really deep and get some absolute monstrous farm killing done. So I'm just saying, for the free-to-play players and the low spenders, this is honestly going to be one of the nastier Season 2+ artifacts that you will not want to lose out on, because this is going to fly under the radar, honestly, when we are experiencing it. When you go against it, you're going to hate it. I'm just going to say that Mysterious Spire is enabling the farm killers on both sides now, so it's very, very good. Another artifact now, I'm not gonna lie, some people, I think this is gonna be the one where a lot of people in the comment section are gonna now have a lot of division maybe on this tier list, but Tier of Arbon, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've started using this on my tier 4 units. I have never looked back. And it's not realistically because of even the healing, but the healing is very nice. I'm not going to lie, I've got a nice Tier of Arbon, it's level 3. It does a nice bit of AoE healing, which is just going to allow my troops to sustain in the fight. But this is where it gets even better. Because of the amount of actual magic defense and legion defense you're gaining on this one artifact, and when you 5 and 6 star it, you're getting like a 3% damage reduction. You honestly make your Mage March as a T4 player one of the tankiest things out there, and you honestly get more merits because you get to survive combat way longer and you get more value out of all your skill damage. So I'm not going to lie, try it out if you don't believe me, but Tier of Arbon is somehow, for me, an S tier artifact, and that is definitely for the low spenders and free-to-play players. It's especially for those guys. I wouldn't maybe recommend it more for the higher players. They would rather, you know, the whales, you'd rather have something like the Infernal Flame and the attack stat, so your T5 just basically melt as fast as possible. But this is just disgusting, guys. I've just fallen in love with this artifact, as you guys will know. The little artifact here, we're going to put in C tier. It's just to do with farming. It's going to be good. It's not going to be like trash. I'll probably put it up here like this, just a bit better than the all these other two down on this list. Because the horn's going to allow you, even at the start of the season, you know, if you've got it, I'm not saying max it out, but as an artifact, it's going to allow you to obviously get the level 7 tiles while everyone is level 4. So it's just C tier. It's nothing too special, right? We know what this horn is. So now we're getting some more special ones, and Sauron's Blade, I'm going to put Sauron's Blade surprisingly in A tier. I think it is one of the better artifacts, obviously, so I'm going to put it more in the higher range because it does do a nice amount of area of effect damage. It gives your cavalry march speed, which is very, very key when you're trying to do certain builds with the ranged cavalry, or if you're just trying to get into your target as fast as possible with the knights and the wolf riders. It's really, really good. A nice amount of area of effect and a really large range. But there is better choices for players, which we will go into. We've got now the Viola's Bow. Nice and simple. I'm going to keep Viola's Bow in the A tier as well. I think Viola's Bow is one of the better artifacts that you could be using in the game. But this current meta, where it's a very keep and building base, it doesn't suit it, meaning you're not really getting that actual utility effect out of it. But if you do have this compared to some of the other artifacts, it's good. It's so good. I would honestly argue it as an S tier artifact just because of the 10-second delay, but some people might hate it. So I'm going to put it basically right at the top near Visage. These two are just so good. They're almost S tier class artifacts, definitely. So now we've got the Dragon Scale Armor. I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely S tier. I've used this since the get-go and it's nasty. The amount of just tanking as stats that you get. And that's what in Season 2 Plus you want. In Season 2 Plus, your March, which is Madeline Garwood, is so good. It's because of how tanky it is. And the fact that now you get an additional shield, and you can shield other frontline units, and you get in physical keen, and you gain so much HP, it's just it's like the actual perfect tank artifact. So I would always recommend this as a PvP based artifact. If you want it, whack it on, you're not going to look back. Storm Arrows. I'm going to put Storm Arrows in A tier. It's not better, unfortunately, than Wolfwoman. It's good. I'm not going to lie. It's really good if you just want to kind of play that flanking play style. And you want to, you know, kind of cause a little bit of havoc. But you can kind of do that with Wolfwoman of Halo anyway. And Wolfwoman of Halo, as you guys know, has that keep advantage where you can jump down onto keeps now and basically kill keeps and gain some sort of advantage over your opponent. It's a really good meta where this artifact actually shines in. So that's what I'm saying in Season 2 Plus. Don't sleep on some of these artifacts, because when other players start doing this to you, you're going to realize, oh, that's actually really clever. And that's what's really cool about this artifact list. We've looked at the creativity of you guys, honestly, the community, using these in combat, which is really good. Breath of Gargantis, again, A tier, and definitely up on the top. Why? So goddamn good for most players. Whatever mage match you want to rock, if you don't have one of these S tiers, but you do have this breath, you're going to use it, because the fact that you reduce stats on your opponents is more beneficial than you think, because all the other players around you that actually do damage and might actually pump out because they're T5s, they're gaining that benefit. And this is what people are losing out on and not understanding when it comes to this current meta of Season 2 in the open field. So Breath of Gargantis, definitely one of the better ones, and you get some really good stats when you are using this. We've got Kingslayer next, and this is the one I'm going to actually change my mind on in my other artifact list, and I'm going to put it in the S tier now. This is basically now the way, because of everyone's getting to the similar level, 44 players, it's so much better than actually having this, because if you do have really good cavalry and you have Kingslayer, and you swipe at the right moment, you are getting that 10% execute. And to be honest, the amount of damage this thing deals is kind of obscene. For T5 players, it's even better, right? Because T5 players can do some insane swings where they almost half health you if you're a T4 player. And if you're obviously below, they would just basically one-shot you. So it is very good. I do take it back from the previous seasons. You know, I didn't really appreciate it as much as the other artifacts, but definitely if you're looking for a just damage dealing artifact for cavalry, this is the one to go for. As well as, which we don't have on the list unfortunately, but we will add on when I just talk about it, will be Spring Blades here. But we have Shadow Blades. And Shadow Blades is the S tier again. So this is like your best, I'm going to lie, this is the best archer artifact for area of effect damage specifically in this list, which is a very, very specific thing indeed. And it means in the most cases when you're trying to use this in open field, you are going to get way more damage or value if you can hit the multiple targets. But if you can't, other artifacts do outshine it, and they are still S tier, just to let you guys know. But base is still, some people might knock it down. I wouldn't mind knocking it down myself so it looks like this, but for now I'm going to keep it S tier because this is more accessible for players to have compared to some of the other artifacts. So now we've got Warhammer. Warhammer, yeah, the Greyhound's Warhammer, if you've got access to this, is actually an A tier artifact. It's definitely really good. You get Legion Defense, so you're super tanky again. But what you can do is it's CC, and there's not that much CC in the game. So if there's times that people are obviously gonna, you know, lose their ability to run away, or they're trying to, you know, escape because they're gonna die, boom, you lock them in. So it gives you a really good advantage in that open field scenario, especially in the choke points, right? As you guys know, we don't know what the map's going to look like, but we can still imagine there's going to be a good open field presence for infantry players, because this is a really good map for infantry. So this Warhammer has potential to shine in here. So if you've got it, you could be using it in this meta. And now we've got the Freezing Ring. And this one is scary because it is in A tier. And it's only in A tier because of the current meta of the rallies. So when the rallies get nerfed, and I'm just going to be honest with you, as soon as they get nerfed, this is dropping down. It's dropping down, boys. But for now, because of the rally meta, the Frozen Rings are actually a really powerful, free-to-play friendly artifact, because the way you can use it is jumping into a mage rally with it equipped, let the rally obviously march, and then you jump out of that rally, and when you jump out of the rally, you will get targeted by other players. Freeze ring up. As soon as you're frozen ringing up, guess what? You're not taking any damage, but they're still dealing damage to you. And if a mage hits you, guess what? The area is now going to splashes onto the rally. Rally's aggroed, rally does its job and obliterates the open field. So you can obviously, when it gets aggro, come out of the ring and jump into the rally. So honestly, very cool tech and really good. I'm not gonna lie, everyone should know this. If you don't think this is B tier, at least you're an idiot. It's the best gathering artifact in the game. The fact that you use this everywhere, and the fact that you can use it in Alliance resource pits, if you're not using it, guess what? That's probably why you're suffering from resource depletion. So we're going to be just real with you guys. So we're coming to the last few, and then I'm going to talk about some other artifacts that aren't on the list, just because I do apologize. I need to add them into here, but we're not going to miss them out. So we've got the Taunt Mask. Taunt Mask is at A tier, and it's forever going to be A tier until they unlock or bring out another artifact that does its job. I'm just going to be honest. If you are an infantry player or you're a mage player, I'm not going to lie, if you're a mage player, you might want to level up your Harlequin Mask for Season 2+, because mages don't do damage in the raid. And let's be real, you don't. But you could become an infantry tank player and be the raid leader. So it might be something that you do, and obviously this is why you use it. It's the best infantry tank ability and the best, you know, like, artifact to draw aggro, because it's the only one. So it's A tier, it's forever A tier until something gets better. We've got Heart Piercer. Heart Piercer is going to be the best of the best, basically B tier PvP artifacts. Following it with Magic Bomb. So if you've got Magic Bomb or Heart Piercer, you can use these in case you don't have any of the A or S tier artifacts. Now we've got Homecoming Blossom. This is going to be C tier again. This is just kind of fulfilling the same role as the mobility, but if anything, it's the best one, because you can equip it to your marches. Obviously, send your march to that relic area, and when you get it to that relic area, you're going to be then able to then Homecoming Beacon, and you've saved 500 meters, which is like a 30-minute walk. Just being honest, right? Now, this is going to cause chaos. Chaos, I mean it. Potion of Vigor S tier. Why? Why is this S tier? Because artifacts don't reset anymore. And what you should be doing, and why this is S tier, and the only reason I'm putting it in S tier is to put emphasis on why you should now level this up so it's over and done with. Because having a maxed out artifact of Potion of Vigor means you've got the maximum building engineering capability for your marches off the get-go. Meaning, when your alliance drops into that starting zone and everyone in your alliance has this maxed out, you're going to be building at maximum capacity, at least at the start, before you might level up your order and add more talent points into him to make him obviously even better, right? So that is why you want it done, because as soon as you've done that, I'm saying, guys, you're going to have this order, or maybe a future builder that will always have Potion of Vigor at the start. That is going to allow you to build your Alliance Fortress first. It's going to allow you to build your buildings, like your flags, turrets, and keeps first. And it's going to allow you to even destroy enemy barricades. So this is why this is actually going to be something you're going to use a ton of. And as long as you've got it done as one of the first ever like PvE things, just max out, it's level 50 only, you're going to get the benefits for every other season. So that's why I'm putting it here in the S tier as a specialist. is going to allow basically an alliance to overwhelm another alliance if they don't have their artifacts levels. I'm just being honest with you guys. So now we've got the Spirit Bangle. I'm going to put Spirit Bangle in C tier. I'm going to actually put this in C tier and this in C tier because they're all really bad. I'm not going to lie. Spring of Science, some people might like because it's area of effect damage and it puts a slow. It's just not good enough. We want tankiness when we're playing infantry, so I don't like this. The single target healing isn't that great because you can just use either the Breath of Gargantis or, like you can see, the tier of R1 for better options. And even the Freeze Ring gives you tanking stats for magics. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I just don't use this. It's not good enough anymore. But now we've got the newer artifacts. So Goldcrest. Goldcrest is S tier and it is absolutely devastating. I'm going to put this really high up because some people didn't understand how powerful this was, and as soon as people started using it, they changed their mind. It's disgusting. The fact that you just lock someone down really easily with a root and they can't escape, and that might be an archer player, and they could be out of position and they're getting 15x and they need to retreat. Guess what? They're not retreating and they get absolutely massacred. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't even do that, but you still land like such a high damage factor because it's a single target DPS weapon. So honestly, guys, I would definitely recommend using this gold crest. It's one of the best archer artifacts that you can use. And following that, I don't have it, but we're gonna use another image instead. Is Rattle Spear. So if you've got the Rattle Spear artifact, S tier. This is going to be Rattle Spear artifact. It's one of the best artifacts for archers because, again, surprisingly, you can use this in PvE and PvP because it does insane amounts of single target damage. It gives you that defense break, which you really, really want. And with that, on top of all of that, you know, you just get so many attack stats on top of it. It's just crazy. You get a defense break, single target damage, and you can obviously retarget as much as you want. And it's PvE, viable? Like what? So this little bow does represent your Rattle Spear artifact, if you are wondering. It's one of the best. And then the last one that we don't have access to was Spring Blades. So Spring Blades, as you guys know, is my favorite cavalry artifact. So the Blade of Reproach here, this is going to represent the Spring Blade. So if you have it, you're going to enjoy it. I think Spring Blades is honestly the best artifact in cavalry. It does the most amount of area of effect damage. It does the insane effect of just going out and you can run away and it can pull back. You can use it for flying cavalry, ranged cavalry. It's just the best, honestly, damage dealing cavalry artifact out there. So that is the artifact list. That's everything you're going to need to know above right now. So if you look right now, this is what you should be using. Again, Rattle Spear and Spring Blades are S tier, guys, on there. And if I've missed any artifacts, I do apologize. Maybe whack them in the comments and I can obviously give you guys a reply on my thoughts on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a nice video, a nice tier list on what I think you guys should be invested into in Season 2 Plus. The best artifacts for that season. Why they're the best in a nice, quick summary, not too long. And yeah, that's it, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, smash like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys, and peace out.